Welcome back. Welcome back to the families who are at home. We've got just about a quarter of this population, again, at home, taking part in this through our website, through audio streaming. So welcome back to them as well. We haven't figured out how to take their questions yet, have we? Okay. Those people at home can type their questions, and Toby Lauren will ask the speaker. So probably better to type them before the talk is over so that you get them in on time. We're going to do a number of short presentations now by institutions who are here but aren't focusing on a particular career. For example, a good example of which is our first speaker from the University of Alberta, Amyssa Jablonski, who the University of Alberta obviously has many careers that they support. So Amyssa is going to talk to you a little bit about the general scope of the U of A. Welcome.
Hi everyone, as Ken said, my name is Amyssa and I work at the University of Alberta. And I'm going to start out actually by telling you a little bit about myself. I actually have been at the U of A for quite some time. I have 2 degrees, a Bachelor of Science in something called pharmacology, which is different from pharmacy, and you can ask me about that at my table. And I have a Bachelor of Education in elementary education. So I could be a scientist, and I could be an elementary school teacher, but I choose to talk to students about how amazing the U of A is. I actually come from a small town, so I'm very used to the question, oh my goodness, the U of A is so large. How can anyone enjoy themselves? I graduated with 19 people and have loved my entire time at the U of A. So a little bit about the University of Alberta. We're actually a top 5 institution in the country, and that means a lot for students. It means that you have access to research excellence. So we have professors who are at the top of their field, and you can learn directly from them. It also means that we have excellence in teaching. There's an award called the 3M Teaching Award, which is kind of like the Oscars for undergraduate teaching in the post-secondary level. The University of Alberta has gained 38 of these, which is the top number of 3M Teaching Awards of any institution in Canada, which means not only will you have access to cutting-edge researchers, you will have access to cutting-edge teachers. Now, those are great things if you're only interested in the academics part of post-secondary life. We have a vibrant student life on campus as well. We have over 400 student groups, which is my personal favorite reason to come to the U of A, because you can find your own community on our campuses. We do have 39,000 students, which is a big number, I know, but because of these over 400 student groups and lots of different ways to get involved, it actually can feel like a little slice of home. So I have been able to get involved with our Students' Union and to get involved with our Senate, and there's lots of different other opportunities, both academic and non-academic, for you to get involved with and really enjoy your time at the U of A. Now you may be asking, I'm a homeschooled student, I'm not doing Alberta curriculum, how do I get into the U of A? Well, you can get in, absolutely. We have homeschool school students that are admitted every year. The one thing that we need from you is an official transcript from a recognized body. Now, there are a number of ways for you to do that. The easiest, because we are in Alberta, is just to challenge the Alberta diploma exams. When it comes to admission at the U of A, we're looking for 2 things. We're looking for 5 courses, one of which is always going to be English, and then 4 other grade 12 academic level subjects. What those subjects are really depends on the program you're interested in. In a program like arts, lots of flexibility. In a program like engineering, those other 4 courses are very specific. Now, I said the Alberta diploma exam is one great way to get a transcript to us. Other options include online American academies that you get a transcript from. We recognize that. We admit American students all the time. So we will use American high school courses. You can also write the SATs. So this would be the critical reading SAT as well as subject exams. You could investigate the advanced placement program, which is operated by the same institution as the SATs, and you can get transfer credit for those courses. So you can take a reduced course load or take more courses that are extra to your degree as you're going through. So lots of different options for homeschool students. Most important thing is to remember that we do need an official transcript from a recognized body, but as I said, lots of ways to get that. When it comes to tuition, for the time you're spending in your classes, it's about $5,600 for the year. So that's for your instruction time. We have some fees that are associated with coming to the U of A. So that would include things like a health and dental plan that you can opt out of if your parents have access to it. It also includes our U-Pass, which is a way to get around unlimited transit on Edmonton, St. Albert, and Strathcona County transits. That's around $1,100. And then we have books and fees, which can be up to $1,200, but that number is a bit high. So when all is said and done, you're looking around $8,000 for the year. Definitely lots of ways to offset those costs. We have scholarships available that we administer. Students who have an 85% admission average guaranteed $1,000 from the U of A. That number only goes up the higher your admission average is and the different programs you choose. We also have some other other scholarships that you can apply for, but this one is an automatic consideration. Don't even have to apply for that guaranteed $1,000 with an 85% average. So that's my quick spiel. I can do 2 minutes and I can do an hour, but in between is a little more difficult. So I'd really love to hear some of your questions because I find that's the best way to learn is to find out what you want to know. If you don't want to ask your questions in a public forum, I will be out of my booth all afternoon. So that's all I have right now.
To go off, not necessarily to go to U of A as their first post-secondary, but to go off to maybe a liberal arts college, get a certificate or 2 years diploma or another degree. I couldn't find anything on the U of A website about how children, or they'd be young adults by that point, adults who've done that, gotten a diploma or a degree would then be able to get into a Bachelor of Science or Engineering or whatever. Where is there information on that? Do you have information on that, or?
I have some basic information on that, and then I will redirect you to a different place. So we do admit transfer students and students who have a full university degree all the time. They would either be transfer students if they just have a diploma, or an after-degree student if they've completed a full degree. When it comes to admission for those programs, you need to talk directly to the faculty in which you want to either complete a degree or continue a second degree. Because it's a lot more complicated to admit students who already have post-secondary experience, the faculties actually do the advising on that themselves. So at my booth, look at this, promotion. I have our view books, and all of the faculty contact information is actually in the back of the book. So you can contact them directly. They are the best people to talk to about transfer and after-degree programs. Any other? Oh.
I was just wondering about the different types of courses. I mean, obviously you're going to have specific courses, but can they be, kind of grouped in categories, if you will?
Yeah, so we have hundreds and hundreds of courses that we offer at the U of A. They are categorized. Some courses are open to basically any student. A lot of our arts courses any student can take, and there's a wide variety. You can take anything from drama to political science, to economics, to classics. Some of our other courses, like engineering, would be specific to the degree. So it really depends on the degree program as to what courses you would be taking during your time at the U of A. We have a big document that's like a phone book called our calendar, and that actually explains what courses you need to take for your degree. For something like engineering, you're not going to have a lot of options. It's going to tell you what you need to take. For something like an arts degree, it's going to say, you have to take some science courses, you have to take some fine arts, a second language, humanities, and social sciences, but the rest is up to you. So when it comes to specific courses, lots of options, but your degree program dictates kind of what you're going to take. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Super. I will be there until 5.
Thank you. From Rocky Mountain College, we have Robert Harris.
Well, I hope everybody had a good lunch and that we're still in a lull from that lunch and having a good time. I'm from Rocky Mountain College. My name's Robert Harris, as was announced, and I'm just going to give a quick overview of what Rocky has to offer. I do want to say one thing. This year and the way that things are set up, I think is awesome. I think it's great to see fellow students who have graduated and where they've landed, and Not everybody has to go to university or college to get to where they need to be and such like that. And so I just think it's really great how you've set it up this year. Rocky Mount College focuses basically in 4 main areas. One we call the arts, and at Rocky that's our theater and our music. Our theater program is a 2-year diploma, and it sets you up so that you can be in front of the camera or on the stage. It also, we have students who take that knowledge and go overseas and do ministry overseas, or they also do different activities overseas or here in North America. Then we have a 4-year Bachelor of Arts having to do with music. Has 3 different directions you can go into that. One has to do with performance, being on the stage, or being a part of a choir or an orchestra. So we have students who have come into our program and are part of the Calgary Opera or Symphony as well, or other groups in the greater Calgary area as well. Then we offer 2 degrees under Human Services, one having to do with counseling and the other one having to do with child and youth care. These degrees are really more designed for somebody who sees themselves in a situation where they want to be in a care situation, where they might want to go the direction of counseling and maybe go on for counseling in a master's level, or they see themselves going the direction of working with youth and children and going in that direction. Same thing kind of in a counseling situation. Then after that, we offer, and oftentimes I say, a swack of degrees having to do with ministry. Everything from pastoral, youth, intercultural studies, and so on like that. Let me highlight one thing that we have within there, and it's on the table out there, and it's called our Global Studies Program. That basically was designed by different organizations contacting us and saying, you know what, we would really like to see some young people who would come and do an extended internship but have biblical and a skill set training, and that's exactly what it is. It's a 1.5 years at Rocky, and within there, you're taking a skill set as well. That could be in business, that could be in having to do with missions work, that could be having to do with maybe a pre-engineering and so on like that, and then going overseas and actually being utilized in an organization overseas. So then when you go overseas, it would be 5 to 6 months overseas. The organization's also looking at those students who come as a long-term possibility, maybe working for that organization in the long term. And that's really the reason why that was put together. Beyond that, we offer 2 degrees under theology. One's biblical and the other one's spiritual. And these lead more in a direction of an academic direction where you want to go on for a master's and a PhD and maybe teach at a high school or maybe teach at a Bible college and such like that. Apart from that, Rocky's not a huge school. We usually have someplace between 120 to 150 students. We take care of all of our students who come into the school, and so it's a setting in which you don't get lost in the midst of all of that. My personal experience is I went on to, I started at community college, didn't do so well at that community college, and then I went on to university, and when I got into university, one of the classes that I had some close to 7,000 students in it. It was in an auditorium. I had a TA of a TA that was actually who I'd go to ask questions. And in the midst of that, what ended up happening is I felt like a digit. And I know that usually that doesn't happen here in Canada where you have classes that big, but that was my experience. And it wasn't until I got into graduate school that I found, wow, the profs that I have really have a vested interest in me. I would have loved to have gone to a smaller school when I started out, or maybe even a school the size of Rocky as well. So I felt like I was being invested in at that time. As you guys are going around and looking at the different schools and such like that, I think one of the greatest things that's being said today is taking the time to figure out what you want to do in life, and then maybe finding somebody who's doing that right now and shadow them or follow them. Because in the midst of that, you'll find, you know what? I like doing that. Maybe I don't like doing that. It's been a dream. This afternoon at lunch, I met somebody who I would say, wow, it's like a real CSI guy. And I was totally amazed at how he got from where he was to where he is today. And I think it's just amazing. All of us have different paths on how we get to where we're at. So that's me from Rocky. And if there's any questions anybody has. Thank you very much.
We've got Nicole Dunn, who's going to talk to us from Living Water College of the Arts.
Good afternoon. I'm the Assistant Director of Living Water College, and we're located about 2 hours east of Edmonton in Derwent, Alberta. I think a lot of you have kind of been keeping an eye on us over the years, so we're once again glad to be here. Living Water College is a school for artists which promotes advanced technical art training integrated with intellectual discipline through the liberal arts and the fostering of a personal faith within community and academic life. The program is founded on 3 pillars, as we call them: art, faith, and reason, because we believe that artists don't only need to use their artistic tendencies to communicate their message, but also have a duty to inform their minds and to really promote objective truth and beauty through uplifting art. Right now, we're aiming at opening a 3-year degree granting program, and we're currently fundraising for this program, and until sufficient investment has been made, we're running short courses during the summer months. We're coming up to our 5th year of short course programming, and we've covered a range of arts, from visual arts, theatrical arts. We ran a sacred choral program this past summer, which was very successful. And so this coming summer in 2013, we're offering 2 fine art programs again in iconography and sacred choral sacred choral music. And these are 2 weeks in length. They're resident programs, and all of the students learn not only advanced technical training in these particular skills, but also expand their portfolio and experience. They work with excellent professionals in the craft, and they have time for this and space to really focus on something that either is a new art or something that they've been working on for years but just haven't had the atmosphere with which to follow that. And there are a variety of it's more a registration process and application for each of these programs, but I can give you more specifics. I'm out in the common area there all afternoon, so I can take your questions now, or come see us and check out our programs. Thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering, how many students do you find you usually take for your summer programs?
About a dozen, I would say, is the average. But for example, for our choral program, we're aiming at 16. It's just kind of a good round choir number, but we can take up to, well, it's a bit of an unlimited number. But that's about the average, about 12, yeah.
What type of dancing would you teach?
That's a good question. You know, we haven't ever offered a dancing program, but I think we'd be open. I'm definitely always open to what people are interested in.
Would you maybe teach like Irish clog dancing?
Possibly. I'll jot it down for
Awesome.
sure.
Thank you.
Do you want to talk about the youth choral program?
Yes, sorry. This summer we're actually offering our first youth program, and it's for the ages of 12 and up. It's a 1-week, a very intensive choir course, basically, but it delves into the greats, Mozart, Vivaldi. You're going into all of this fantastic older music that just isn't utilized anymore, especially in the liturgy. And there's so much rich liturgical music out there that should really be promulgated again. So it's full days, but lots of great community life, and we've always had quite a lot of interest from those younger than post-secondary age, so we're hoping that those people can take advantage of it. And it's also a resident program, so they'd be living at the college during that time.
Would their parents be able to come?
Yes, it's actually a student-parent pair is the way the program is being run. So the parents will also come and participate in lessons and choir. So, you know, for any parents out there who'd kind of like to delve into that as well, it's just a good bonding experience just to have that time together.
Thank you very much, ma'am. NorQuest College. There.
Hi everyone, so I am from NorQuest College, and We are the largest community college in Alberta. Our main campus is located in Edmonton. However, we do have campuses throughout rural Alberta. One of the perks of NorQuest is we want to make it as easy as possible for you to come to school. So we offer very flexible learning styles. You can choose to study full-time, part-time, you can do face-to-face, or we have online deliveries as well. Our online delivery can be done through paced, so you can still follow the curriculum, or you can do real time. So you can actually log into your computer from home and participate in a class from the comfort of your living room. Our programs are career focused, so they're anywhere from 4 months to 2 years long. We have 3 faculties at NorQuest. So we have a faculty of foundational and intercultural programs. This includes all of our upgrading, English language training, and integrated programs. So for our upgrading, you may ask yourself that you need a certain class. You can come and take your course through NorQuest. Or U of A was mentioning that you need to provide transcripts with specific courses from somewhere, and you can do this by challenging diplomas. You can also do this through NorQuest. For our Faculty of Health Studies, we have practical nurse, healthcare aid, and we also have some allied health programs. So this would be mental health, therapeutic recreation, pharmacy technician, and physical therapy assistant. And then we have our Faculty of Business and Community Studies. Through this area, we offer a social work diploma, administrative professional certificate, and a hospital unit clerk certificate. We have it designed so our diploma programs do transfer to other post-secondary institutions, and that is noted in our view book, which I have on display at our table. Lastly, we have a continuing education department. This department's really growing within our university. Here you can choose to take courses for credit or not for credit. And a big portion of this is our open studies. So let's say you're interested in a particular field, but you're not quite sure if you want to make a career out of it. You could register for this course and take one to get a feel to see if it's something that you would enjoy. Is there any questions?
I've got one.
Okay.
Is it possible to use any of your programs to upgrade for perhaps programs that say the U of A, but at the same time to be able to have university credit for some of that coursework?
So you are able to do any upgrading from grade 7 to 12, and you can use those to get into any other post-secondaries, but you wouldn't get university credit for that. We do have university transfer courses, which you could take through open studies. So that could be like Psychology 101 or Anatomy and Physiology 101 or some examples. And you can take those. There's no prerequisites for them. And then you could transfer that to an institution. All right, thank you.
And before all you students panic, we are not part of wisdom homeschooling. You won't have to stay in high school for the rest of your life, okay? Which is good. So who are we and where are we and why are we here? Well, Our Lady Seat of Wisdom is a Catholic liberal arts college in Madawaska Valley, Ontario. Now, I'm not going to ask you your geography. You don't have to know where that is, but let's put it this way. It's just outside Ottawa. Well, in Alberta terms, it's just outside Ottawa, about 2 hours. Okay. What we are is small. We're under 100 students. We are authentically Catholic. All of our professors take the oath to the majesty of the church. Our goal is to produce students and young adults who have learned to think, learn to be able to do critical thinking at a level that they will need for future careers. We are a 3-year program. Many students come for only one formational year where they learn things exciting like logic and ethics, things that you're going to need no matter what else you choose to do in life. Our goal is to help you get to heaven. Our goal is to train Christians who really care about their faith and people who develop the kind of community life and the spiritual life that will make them successful. We have students over the last 12 years who have gone on to 26 different careers. We have vets, we have pilots, we have firefighters, we have people doing absolutely everything. We have people at Oxford, we have people at graduate schools all over the world. But mostly we have people who know how to think, who know how to write, and who know how to actually find their vocation in life. And that to us is far more important than a lot of the other things that we could teach. But we are fundamentally a very excellent academic school. We are 3 years only, hopefully, God willing, because we are here only by the grace of God, that we are able to go forward to a 4th year, but we're working on that. In the meantime, those who do 3 years with us, they have a lot of fun, and they end up going to places that you wouldn't believe and doing things that are quite amazing. Our courses are accepted by all sorts of colleges and universities around the world. It's a matter of talking to people and finding out where they are and what they're doing. But we really do have an amazing student body, many of whom have come from Wisdom Homeschooling. We have a large number of Alberta students, and quite a few of them have actually studied with you all. And I'm sure you know them. In fact, I can see some faces in the crowd whose family members have joined us. And I think they will tell you it's wonderful. We're in a small town, about 1,200 people, 2 hours from a city, 1 hour from the closest movie theater. Ooh. Everyone still has their cell phones and texts, but we teach these young people not only to think, but as I was saying to someone earlier, we teach you how to play. Now, I know that sounds silly, but we're in our world now, we're saying our children don't know how to play. They don't know how to entertain themselves. Everyone has organized everything for them. We now have young adults who learn to bring their life forward by being in community, in small residences, and learning to play in an environment where they're supported and where it's faithful. And I think those of you who've had students come will say that it actually has been an amazing experience for them. So we'd love to talk to you more about this, or to any of the families whose children are already there. Please feel free to ask them about us. But we are delighted if any of you will consider coming that far east. I know you think Saskatchewan's east, but this is really east. And we have students now from every province in the country except Newfoundland, so we have to go out there. And we have 21 different states represented in our student body. So we're pretty cosmopolitan, and you will make friends from all over who will be with you for the rest of your life. You know, and you will learn who you are, and you will also learn sacred music. As Nicole said, our maestro who teaches sacred music also teaches in the summer for Living Waters. So we are pretty, I think, international in that sense, or interprovincial at least. So please come talk to us. If you have any questions, we'll be delighted to answer them. Thank you very much for your time and letting an Easterner come here. Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions? I didn't realize I was so clear. But do please drop by. We'll be at the table all afternoon.
We have one question.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you back there.
I was just kind of wondering what the academic requirements are for Our Lady Seat of Wisdom, and what kind of scale you grade homeschooling students who don't have any particular courses.
Okay, first off, we require a high school diploma. Having said that, though, we will accept high school diplomas produced at home, as long as all of the course material is laid out. So we know exactly what was in the course and exactly what the evaluation criteria were and what the mark was. So Mom can make you a diploma, okay? Be nice to her, okay? Yeah. But having said that, we expect that you have done well in these courses, but also that perhaps you can write. Now, this is really important. Our 3-year program, the first year is quite prescriptive. It includes mandatory writing. And so when you come in, you have to write 5 essays on entrance. And the reason for that is so that we can see where you are and whether or not your writing skills and your reading skills, because one of them has to be a book review, okay, a book report. So we want to see if you have the skills to be able to do the kind of academics that we provide. We're stringent. There's no question. This is not a walk in the park. mean, it's not that we're trying to scare anyone, but we do provide a lot of really high caliber programs. So we want people to feel confident that they can do this when they come. So we require the 5 essays as well as a high school transcript. We do have students who transfer from other universities. We have 3 this year, actually, who went to big secular universities and left after the first week and came to us. But, that's just a different taste. So we will have transfer students who come in who don't need their high school because they've already done their first year university. Okay? But no, Mom can give you a diploma or a certificate as long as it's legitimate, right?
Do you also, if our parents give us let's say a wisdom diploma or something like that, do you expect to see any of our work, like our portfolio or anything like that?
Well, yeah, what they'll ask is if the courses that are laid out, with the descriptors are not things that we are used to seeing, and most of them we will be, then they would probably ask for more details on it. But as long as it's within the realm of the Alberta kinds of courses, now not the Alberta curriculum, that's not what I'm saying, but the kinds of courses that are offered in high school, then it's usually accepted. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question. How do you get away with calling yourself East when you talk to Maritimers?
Because I'm from St. John, New Brunswick, so you're right. It doesn't quite count in the great scale of things. But I was a psychologist. Actually, I'm an Alberta psychologist, and I when I was here, I would be in schools, and all the teachers were talking about, oh, I'm from the East, and I'd say, oh, really? Where are you from? And they'd say, oh, Regina. I don't think so. You're right. But thank you very much for your time. And one more question. Hello.
Hi. Thank you. I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to listening to this talk again because I want to take note of your ad you gave for your school because I love your comments. I didn't take notes. And I love the things you said. We're looking for this. We're looking for this. We teach you to do this. And see, I didn't retain any of this information apparently because it's different. It's not... You're going to get this out of this. You're going to get the... Did anyone else get this feeling? Or is it just me? It usually is just me. I'm very strange.
No. No, it's me. I'm pretty scattered.
No. It was awesome. It was excellent. There's something about you or the school that says this is what we're looking for. This is who... I think we're not shoving you through a pipe. And were you the one who said we're preparing you for heaven? Or was that someone else?
Yeah, so
Amen.
We are poor and we are small. We were founded by homeschooling families. Isn't that amazing? Actually, does anyone know who Michael O'Brien is? A Catholic writer? Yeah. Well, he was one of our founders. He's now our author and writer in residence. And they founded us because they have families who couldn't afford to go to large universities, but who wanted the spiritual training that would come from the liberal arts done within the tradition of Catholic teaching. So that's where it began. So we're open to homeschooling, but the goal is to train people who will ultimately have vocations, and that ultimate vocation will be to become saints. And between they're being 18 and that time, God knows how long they have. We try to do our best within that. So we are different, and we exist because we're young and poor. We exist only on the grace of God. If He chose tomorrow that this school would stop, it will stop. And unfortunately for everyone, it hasn't. But we also exist, and we're very reasonably priced too, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed. Full tuition, room and board for a year is only $11,000. And the reason for that is because all of our staff and faculty work for what you would call apostolic wages. If anyone has worked in any church, they know exactly what I mean. And as a result, they are there because they believe that God has called them there. So yeah, we are different. And it's really hard coming from the secular world to stand up and talk like this, but that's the only thing that is important in the long run. So thank you for your comment. Oh, yeah.
I have one question.
I wouldn't recommend it. Only because the last ones who came in not Catholic went out Catholic. That's awesome. It's still not that we're evangelizing in that way. It's just that the environment was such that they felt comfortable making the move into becoming a member of the church. Okay. So I'm sorry, but no, anyone.
No, that's a good answer. Thank you. Hi, I was just wondering, you mentioned something about like sacred choral. So do you have instrumental programs as well?
We have instrumental. We don't have, yes and no, let me explain. We have the maestro. Everyone should have a maestro, I should say. And he is, obviously, he teaches sacred music. That is his main focus. And so he teaches sacred music to our whole freshman class. Has to sing, by the way. If you come and you can't sing, don't worry. He, as I said to someone today, he can make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Let me tell you, he really is very good at making people who can't sing be able to sing. But for those who are really talented, there are private lessons we arrange, okay? And we have people this year who play cello and harp. We have violinists and we have pianists. So yes, the music program is there. And we also have people who do conducting, do courses in church, history of church music and in conducting. So you can have a certificate in full in sacred music when you're finished. Yeah, and so which is your area of music?
I play viola and violin, but I am a violist.
We're short of violists this year. Come on down,
okay?
We got lots of cellists, a few violinists, but we don't have any violists. But yeah, private lessons are part of the whole program, and we have practice time and practice places. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Well, thank you. I hope I haven't taken up too much time.
Thank you very much. And now from Taylor College, we have Rick. We thought since we're being hosted here, we should at least hear from our host.
Well, welcome, and we want to welcome you to our facility here. There's been a lot of changes around Taylor, and we are primarily a graduate seminary. And so we provide master level programs for those who already have a bachelor's degree. That's the prerequisite to get into a master's program, is to have a bachelor's degree or equivalent. We do still retain the name Taylor College. In 2009, in June, Taylor University College closed due to the financial crisis at the end of 2008. It was very sad for us, and in terms of the debt, we actually sold 22 of the 26 acres that surround this building. We now have 4 buildings on 4 acres of land. You're in building number 1. There's 4 buildings in a row here. We have a seminary population of about 105 students, all taking programs that are master levels. Master of Divinity is our primary program. It's a 77 credit hour intensive Master Divinity program. It's for those who are training for vocational ministry. And we have students who come from all kinds of walks of life and backgrounds, educational backgrounds. And for our other degrees, we have Master of Arts in Intercultural Studies. This is a program designed for those who are missionaries or who are looking at mission work and want to study at a deep level in terms of how to reach out to others, evangelism, church planting, communicating interculturally, and so on. Sometimes you might go to a bachelor's program and even work in that field for a particular amount of time. And then you sense that calling within your life, that God is moving in your life and he's calling you to a vocational ministry of some kind. That's what happened to me. I was a respiratory therapist, took my training at NAIT and the Royal Alec Hospital here in Edmonton. And as I was doing my job, driving my van in central Alberta, God just laid upon me a real burden for people within the church. And it was at that time then that I asked the Lord to reveal to me what he was saying in my life, and that's when I redirected my educational way. I came here to it was a Bible college at that time, and then I moved on to the seminary after that. So sometimes it's a mid-course correction. I have a daughter who's 20 and a son who's 22. My son is studying here in our Master of Arts in Intercultural Studies program. We offer that particular program with a TESOL concentration as well. That's teaching English to speakers of other languages, and it's recognized by TESOL Canada. We also have Master of Theological Studies, which is a 2-year program. And again, it's going deep into scripture, into church history and theology, and then also a few practical programs of ministry. We also have 1-year iterations of those programs that we call diplomas. We also have graduate certificate programs in a variety of areas that allow you to branch off into areas of interest like spiritual formation or exegetical preaching, even pastoral care. I want to say a few words about Taylor College. I was introduced as Taylor College, and we're probably the only college here that is offering no programs. Is that right? Is there any other college here that is offering no programs? That's us. Taylor College, we've retained the name college because a number of our courses were listed in the Alberta Transfer Guide when we were Taylor University College. So we've retained that designation. And you can take transfer courses from us. We cross-list some of those courses with our seminary. And so if you're in a program somewhere else, so many of these fine institutions that are represented here today, if you get into a program there, and they do have some elective credit hours that are open, you can select whatever you would like from either their program or another school. Think about Taylor College. You do have to obtain permission from your registrar to see if that particular course will be accepted to that institution as a transfer course. But you can do that here at Taylor College. And so we don't have a program, but we do actually, presently, we actually have 5 students who are taking college-level courses or undergraduate courses and are transferring them to their undergraduate schools. And so that's how we're kind of our niche market at this point. There may be a future for developing a college-level program, but again, we wanted to just kind of focus on the seminary here today and to let you also know that if you get into that program and you'd like it's a program maybe in whatever it might be, but it doesn't offer Old Testament introduction or New Testament introduction or spiritual formation or one of those other courses, and you would like to take that as an option and transfer it to your program, you can take a course like that from us. If you have questions about that, you can come and see me at our booth just outside the door there. I have provided there a list of Taylor College courses that are in the Alberta Transfer Guide. And so if there is a course there that you would like to take as an option and transfer to your program, you're sure welcome to do that. And in case you weren't believing me in terms of those courses being in the Alberta Transfer Guide, I photocopied the pages right out of the Alberta Transfer Guide to show that we're legit, okay? So that's great. I've provided some other information in terms of our view book and our seminary catalog for you to look at as well. Any questions?
The risk of sounding stupid, what is a course in spiritual formation?
Come and see me. I can give you a syllabus if you'd like. By the way, my office is just down the way by the front door. It's interesting, my wife actually works as the assistant to the president here at Taylor College and Seminary, and so now I have to do what she says at home and at work. Thank you very much.
Couple of things. Have you ever noticed how much you learn when you talk to people? Really, dialogue is at the heart of all learning. It's at the heart of mediated learning, which you're going to hear about in a little while. It's at the heart of Socratic discourse, which really was the essence of the first schools in ancient Greece that really went into the great thoughts, the deep thoughts, the central questions of mankind, and were the foundation of philosophy right to our time. Dialogue is extremely important. And to that end, Wisdom Homeschooling tries to, Living Water too, tries to create an atmosphere at home, or help you to create an atmosphere at home where dialogue becomes more and more central to your learning. So you're not just working in isolation on page whatever, but you're also talking about it. And the best dialogue is between someone and someone with greater experience, someone with lesser and greater experience. So parents are absolutely central to the learning process of any student, whether they know the subject or not. You know, we often think because we haven't read the book our child is reading, or we haven't done some of the coursework, that we really aren't in a position to talk about it. On the contrary, what they need from us is not our knowledge of the subject, but our reaction or response to the subject. And that's in dialogue. So let your kids bring the information to you that they want to talk about. Encourage that dialogue. And they will need your mature perspective on it without you having any experience with it. In the interest of dialogue, the Wisdom online courses endeavor to encourage reading the great books and discussing them at home, in small groups, in your community, and when that's not possible, well, in the online classrooms. But when we can, we put on great books events. And the next one is coming up that's the 17th, I believe, yes, of November, alter September. I'm actually in denial. I don't believe it's really November already. 17th of November in Calgary at Holy Name Church. Look for it on the Wisdom website. And if there's any chance of being around Calgary, take it in. It's a great chance to massage that process of dialogue and imbue it in your family life. The other thing that Toby Lauren wanted me to bring up is grad hoodies. Each year we order hoodies for people who are graduating and want to have a grad hoodie with their name on it and their grad year and stuff. And so we do this at cost. Whatever it costs us is what it costs you. So if you want a grad hoodie for the end of this school year, now's the time to plan it and start doing the orders. So see the office staff about that if you've got that kind of a question. We need to take about a 15-minute break just because you look like it. It's that time of day where you need to get up and move around and talk to people and get some water and go to the washroom. And then we'll come back here at 10 after 2.